Okay, well, he can go suck a dick. Put in Indiana Jones. He's way better. The eternal argument I'll have with everybody.
Okay.
I mean, take away his gadgets, James Bond has nothing.
Well, apparently he has a huge dick.
Probably that. Take away Indiana Jones's gadgets. Well, what gadgets?
He has a hat.
Precisely.
So this is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater on the HD version.
That's actually... Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Okay, so right off the bat, I just want to say this, that if I press the right trigger, it slows it down. If I press the left, it changes
the colors.
Things. Yeah.
Nice.
And you can also speed it up.
Cool.
And I can do this.
That's a little much effort to put into a start screen.
And I can do this. And I can do this. I don't know why, but you can do it.
I dare say they may have spent a little bit too much time on the start screen.
It's fine. New game.
That's just proving.
I'm playing Metal Gear. I like Metal Gear 1. Yeah, I like Metal Gear 1. I don't know what this actually does.
Neither do I.
Are we picking on? We're picking on.
That's your choice, man. Your choice.
Because if you play easy, you get like the EC gun. EC.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Now remember I said you would love the shit out of this game?
Sure.
This is History Month Extravaganza.
Oh, I see. Let's see what goes on. Let me pick this thing apart.
Please don't.
Oh, but I want to.
No, but I don't want you to.
I'll try not to.
Either this or Metal Gear 4 are the best games I've ever played. But you know, we kind of sat down and we said like only one, and I can't figure out if it's either this or if it's Metal Gear 4.
Alright.
1960.
Altitude 30,000 feet.
64.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Army parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
And obviously, like once again, they're using a lot of shortenings that the military used at the time. Once more, like Hideo Kojima shows that he, like when he writes the story like this, he really studies.
Yeah.
Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Because he's bad like that.
Know what he's doing.
So, I'm just gonna come out right out and say it.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey!
This is like a prologue, in case you hadn't guessed.
I had.
And you know how there was this huge thing in Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 about Big Boss?
Yeah.
Like a dude called Big Boss, which was the one that Snake was cloned from.
Yeah.
You are going to play as Big Boss before he became Big Boss.
Pressurization complete.
So you are actually, like, this is one of the games where you get to play the coming of the great antagonist of the earlier games. Which is a really Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater.
Nice.
But it's a really weird thing for you to do because it makes you empathize with the villain.
That's pretty cool.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
It's a weird thing that Metal Gear has where they always have to put a mask on the dude at the beginning.
World's first Halo jump.
In case you haven't noticed. Look how fucking awesome this dude is.
Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings.
Don't fly. God be with you.
I'm become so god awfully British.
Very British on an American plane. Okay, a spin, that's usually not good. Don't do it. Okay, if I'm falling like that, that's okay. Spinning, not a great idea when you're parachuting or doing a halo jump.
Probably not. Directed by Hideo Kojima. So the reason why this is 1962 is because like he wanted to get
Jack, I've got some important
the
news.
death of Kennedy in there, like story-wise, which will happen later. But he also wanted it to kind of be related to his birthday, so this is his 1 year
Future
birthday.
of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our mobs. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
That was a special kind of day.
Yep.
The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket.
How cool is it that they use stuff like this?
Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence.
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. He used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov.
Now why would they want to go to the West, Martin?
Well, because the West is a better place than the East during the Cold War.
And why is that?
Inside was still full of holes back.
I'm not. It's not important to the plot or anything. But
Capitalism!
okay.
No, actually no. Obviously, the Soviets and generally the East Bloc didn't have the economy to sustain what they were doing, and obviously they didn't care much about their people. It's a Soviet mentality. It's a Russian thing, you know.
It's a Russian thing.
Well, actually, throughout history, they've proven that they usually don't care about people a lot. Again, maybe not the best example, but Stalin. Look how many he sacrifices to win a
Hey, we
war.
were just talking about you.
Hello, Kennedy. You sexy bastard. No, we're not necessarily pro-American. We're just stating this as it is. Obviously, Soviet Russia probably wasn't the best place ever.
We're stating this as Danes who have always been standing on the sideline poking people with a stick going, do something.
And then laugh at them. That's usually how we go.
Frantic negotiations were conducted with the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October
Oh, the
28th,
Cuban Missile
the
Crisis.
Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust.
I like the
But
word.
in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out,
It sounds
began
so
to make
final.
a deal.
You mean the one where the U.S. agreed to remove its IRBM from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
So,
You mean
They
the
want-
Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
actually exactly that. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, that's pretty
Hell
bad.
was he
Pretty
working
damn
on?
darn big.
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time.
Obviously, this is just something they make up.
Yeah, of course, but it's a good cover story.
It is a very good cover story. It's a good way to use real facts to
to blend in with fiction.
Exactly.
It's a thing that, in literary terms, is known as cognitive estrangement. It means that you use something that you cannot prove was actually the fact to build your own fiction with.
Interesting. Some new information from one of our monks.
And I love when you do that.
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision.
KGB.
What's more,
Very Putin.
That's so fucking Putin.
Is it something to do with space rockets?
Yes, Soviet space rockets and missiles.
Same technology.
Strong stuff. Oh god, I'm making fun of Russians again.
Oh, trust me, there'll be a lot of that.
I don't mind.
for half a year.
But that's actually like when they're just talking about this. I want to say, like we saw in Metal Gear 2 and Metal Gear 1, whenever there were Russians, they had a Russian accent.
They had the Russian accent, yes.
Yes. They won't have this in this game, and that's despite you being in Russia. This is because it's a small thing, but it's kind of ingenious, really. They're going to put like American accents on them to make you feel equal with them. That you are not different. You are actually one and the same, and it's you'll see why that's important later on. But I think it's a very clever thing to do.
That would have probably thrown me a little bit off.
Yeah.
If I played the game seriously, I played through the second one and known Russians were Russian. And then I came to this and Russians are goddamn Americans!
Oh, they won't have that.
Of course they won't. I'm over exaggerating that, but I would have probably been a little bit disappointed. But that's just me. And yeah, we're gonna poke fun at Russians. We're not necessarily anti-Russian. We're anti-idiots. That's a different thing.
Damn.
Well, I'm just being honest here. There are sadly some idiots in Russia. There are idiots in Denmark as well. There's idiots in America. Actually, America has a few of them. They're usually the loudest. Oh, and
Okay, so this is a new thing. Sometimes during the cutscenes you can press the like the button and you will see through your character's eyes.
Nice.
It's a weird thing, and it's a thing that Hideo Kojima would expand on later on in Metal Gear 4, where he will actively give you stuff to do during the cutscenes, so they're not as boring.
That's pretty cool.
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The full surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Have you ever heard about that?
Yeah, that's the exact same one they use in Batman, actually.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
I can't remember if they actually ever used it in real life successfully. I can't.
I fucking hope so, because it's becoming the main mechanic of Metal Gear, Phantom Pain, and Peace Walker.
Fair enough.
20mm Vulcan cannon, as well as 240mm.
But I'm not sure if it ever worked because obviously the pull or the force from being pulled after the C-130 Hercules pretty darn powerful. It's a lot. I'm not sure if you can
But if
stand
anything
that.
goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Why are we in a jungle if we're in Russia?
I do not know.
Okay, fair enough. Obviously, there's a lot of forest in Russia, but I don't believe they have a jungle.
I think we're in Pakistan.
Well, that doesn't help a lot, but a little.
I don't know.
Could be somewhere in Asia.
Alright.
Actually, we might be close to somewhere close to the Chinese borders. They could probably have a few jungles around that.
And see, now we get the snake pose again. Like, you remember it?
Yeah. I am a praying mantis, standing here.
Looks really awesome.
Well, yeah. A very 60s-esque outfit.
Yeah, but that's what I like. It's not like made super modern.
No, definitely not. The mask is very 60s.
Now we finally get a good look at it.
Dramatic taking off hat. The helmet.
This actually looks really good. Like, it's a PlayStation 2 game, but it looks really great.
It does actually.
Looks better than some PlayStation 3 games these days.
Oh yeah, that's just sad, isn't it?
Ain't that right? Right to hell, retribution, you dumb.
Let's not even talk about that.
You're already in enemy territory.
So these are like the new codec
From here on
scenes.
out, we'll be
Seeing that they're not as fancy as the other ones, you can't like see moving pictures, but you can like see do this.
From now on, you're not to mention your real name.
Snake.
Which is-
But you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one at a restaurant.
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the
You
enemy.
see, it changed his
Leave
name.
no trace of your presence.
Yeah.
Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words,
So this was before the Foxhound unit was actually
that goes
created.
for food as well. You're
This was like
completely
supposed to be
naked,
the
just your
main
name.
starter mission to get
Great.
funding.
Now I see why you asked me if I liked snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason.
He's British, of course it's a
Only
joke.
later when the time comes.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject.
Then why is a British man on an American plane?
You've been issued a knife.
It's because
Use them to hunt for food.
he is
You'll
a
also
part of
find some
Foxhound.
medical supplies in your backpack.
Still.
Yeah, I got the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
A British attitude towards it.
Well, you fucked up. Better fix it.
It's stuck in
Yeah.
the branch.
You sound like a helpless American. Come on, you bloody colonial.
Stand in front of a tree,
Get
tap
going.
the ID and press the action button.
While I drink my tea.
I'll be monitoring your
Get me a scone while you're at it.
Can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll
And
be
do bash your Frenchie.
My frequency is 140.85.
Okay, so there's like a small
I'll give you
throwback,
a call if I need to talk.
148.85.
If you need to talk to me, use the send function.
140.85, I mean,
Okay.
is also
Go
the
get
same
your backpack.
frequency you call Colonel on.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
Alright. So are we getting into the game now?
I suppose we are.
There we go. Okay, so I think right off the bat I just want to say is that because we're playing the HD remake, you are able to turn around the camera.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And in Metal Gear Snake Eater on the PlayStation 2, you will not be able to control the camera, which is... Hideo Kojima has been quoted to say that he had gotten action cam sickness or whatever he called it. So he hated when like he had to control the camera and stuff. It was a cool thing because it kind of stuck with the whole Metal Gear thing, but the problem is that like people would appear out of view and you wouldn't be able to see them because the camera was like this.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Well, Hideo Kojima, grow up. It's a good thing you can control the camera.
Yeah, and even he later came to realize that okay, that's probably a good idea.
Because the camera is probably one of the things that could kill me on the first and second game.
Exactly. But well, here we are.
Here we are. We have a call. That was really harsh, Snake, now wasn't it?
I applaud you.
I see
Great.
you retrieved your backpack, Snake.
Good job.
Yes, Snake, that is very great. Now, if you were a SAS soldier,
In the survival,
You would have been
you wouldn't even have called me to say you had to pick up your
multiple
backpack.
weapons will be displayed in a window.
Silly colonial.
From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the enter button.
If I were British, I'd refer to the Americans as colonials all the time.
You would get your ass
Use the
kicked
survival.
daily.
Of course I would.
That's right.
Damn
Survival
colonials.
is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance.
I know this is for the player, obviously. All this telling here, all this instruction that Tom is giving him.
Yeah.
However, it does make him seem as if he's a rookie.
You can use either your
Exactly.
stabilizer gun or your
But
rifle.
so the new thing is the stamina. Before you didn't have a stamina bar, you had health and that was it.
Yeah.
The stamina in this game, it will, like he said, be affected with what you eat and stuff like that. So, like, you have to find flora and fauna in the forest to feed yourself. And depending on what you do, like, it will cost various amounts of stamina. Like, small things like walking up a hill will decrease your stamina faster than walking down a hill. Jumping around, shooting, all that stuff will drain the stamina rather fast. Well, not fast, but faster. And if you lose your stamina, you will start like aiming worse. Like you will start swaying around, and your stomach can actually start growling and alert people to your presence.
Nice, that's pretty cool.
And the main theme of this game is survival. So like, if you get shot in the arm, it'll be like you will have to do the things that you did in Far Cry 3 and 2 and 3, where you have to like dig out the bullet and wrap your wound and stuff like that.
The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid
He
so.
seems surprised.
A fake death pill.
Fake death pill, you know what that is.
SAS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on
Cyanide pill.
Yeah.
receive a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need.
How generous of you.
And Snake sounds like he didn't expect that at all. Wow, Snake, you're a fucking moron.
State of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back.
So they gave him a cyanide capsule.
I'll keep it
That's
in
supposed to
mind.
put him in a state of fake death.
Kind of a coma.
I guess that means I can't.
Potassium cyanide.
Well,
Correct.
not a chemist, but I don't think so. You can do that with cyanide. But hell, I could be wrong.
An army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition.
She'll basically be a melee.
So to speak, as well as recording your mission data. He's a member of Fox as well.
Oh, Rose,
Here on the
but
gun
fuck her.
Yeah.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic.
Now, she will talk about movies with you so fucking much.
Aren't you going to tell me?
Much. She will talk about King Kong, she'll talk about Godzilla, she'll talk about all the weird flicks.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
Again,
Also in charge of
he seems like a
recording
fucking
your
rookie.
data.
Well,
he's surprised by the fact he's alone.
This is also his first real mission, if I remember correctly. Like he has had several training, but never done a mission on this scale before.
Well, still, again,
Good
he's
to know.
sent into
One
Russia
person I want to
stealthily,
introduce you to, Snake.
and
Speaking
he's
of
surprised.
snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss.
it's
that
kinda
got the
heavy-handed
CIA's
there,
authorization
I'll
in
give
the
you
first
that.
place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss.
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss.
That's right. It's me.
The balls.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
Try and see how much of her is unknown. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The
So
rest
immediately you
need to learn
can
on
kind
your
of
own.
hear that there's something going on
Sure.
between these
Yeah.
two,
What
and
about
it's
how
not
to think
just
like a soldier?
How to
mentor
think like
and
a
disciple.
soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics.
Now this will be a running theme throughout the game, which is actually a very interesting theme. Is that like today's friends may be tomorrow's enemies? It's kind of to show that like no one will ever be like your enemy except the time. Like
I was on a top secret
America and Russia were at each other's throat at this time, but tomorrow they could be like helping each other fighting China or whatever.
Reason to fight. You are a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you.
Could we like not have talked about this before I went on the mission?
A soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient: loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times.
Like a bullshit ex-girlfriend.
As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
God, she's a bull. What a bullet in her.
You're supposed to think.
I'll try.
The only thing we can believe
Can't really shoot her from
in
here,
absolute certainty is the mission.
Plus, I think the only gun that I have right now is a tranquilizer.
Well, that's still enough to put her down and break her neck.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah. I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here.
Sweet
After all,
motherfucker.
who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC
So this is also a very important thing about the game is the CQC.
Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
I love how he's talking down to
I'll be
Green
here to
Berets.
help you remember.
Like,
After all,
child's
this is
play.
your first actual
I eat
survival
green
mission.
berets for
I'll be supporting you
breakfast.
over
And
time.
right now, I'm very hungry.
Mr. Major.
This
The
Green
boss
Beret
is
is gonna kick your
communicating with us
ass.
by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Now, I think that's the same as Master
Your
Miller
mission
from the
is
first
to
game.
retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned...
I love how they couldn't have given him all this intel before he went on the mission.
Avoid enemy
Exactly.
combat and don't let anyone see you.
That's the thing they did in Metal Gear Rising, which was really weird.
Gave you the info before the mission?
No, they would give you mission as you were playing.
Oh.